Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk about Mars in retrograde. As most of you might know, some of you probably don't know, Mars went retrograde on the 9th, so just a few days ago, and it's going to be retrograde in Aries for 2 months, so until November 13th. So I wanted to talk about, just my take on what Mars retrograde is. So I feel, sometimes astrologers like to sugarcoat things or kind of give you the positive spin on things, especially, Instagram astrologers or, more overall kind of positive minded astrologers. And I just like to be realistic. I don't like to sugarcoat things. So in my personal opinion, at least, I think that Mars retrograde is very hard. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with me in practice that it is hard because here's the thing, Mars is all about drive and communication and sexuality and aggression and assertion and ambition, a lot of things that end with shin. But if it's retrograde, it's kind of like those same things, all those topics, but kind of held back in a way, or just not able to be expressed fully. So what's frustrating about Mars retrograde is that yes, you will get in more arguments, there will be more aggression, it will be kind of an aggressive energy, especially since it's in Aries, but it's frustrating because it's not the kind of really explosive type Mars energy that's like, oh, we're just gonna yell at each other and then it's gonna be, we let it out and now it's okay. It's that kind of energy of trying to communicate something or trying to let something out, and you're not fighting because there's too much anger going on. You're fighting because you're not understanding each other. You're not able to communicate with each other, and it's frustrating. Or you're getting mixed signals or mixed messages, or people are failing to tell you what's really going on, or failing to, bite the bullet, failing to take initiative, failing to go for their goals because of fear and self-doubt. And then sexually, the same thing, like sexually repressed, but then you're frustrated and you're more sexually repressed, and then you're mad about it, and then you take it out on someone, and then, or just that sort of, that kind of sexual energy that can be like people just not on each other's flow, like wavelength, stuff like that. And just a lot of, it's even hard to make a video during Mars retrograde because it's like, and I always say that, people usually relate Mercury back to communication, and I do believe Mercury is communication in an intellectual way, but I feel that Mars is important to consider with communication because it's the actual exertion of energy. And I also feel that Mars is overlooked when it comes to the way people are and the impression you get from people, and because it's physical energy. So I do feel like Mars has a strong impact on the way you see people, or the energy you're getting from people, because it's like that physical energy. So when it's retrograde, it's just kind of, your mind might be knowing what to say, but your actual vocalizing your thoughts and your actual vocalizing and putting that energy out there is held back somehow. Now, with all retrogrades, if you have it in your natal chart, the retrogrades are not as bad because it's like something you've kind of dealt with your whole life, so you're used to it, whereas everyone else is not used to it. So it's not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna thrive. It's more just like, you're like, yeah, what's the big deal? Okay. So I just want to talk a little bit about this particular one, which is an Aries, and as a lot of people probably know, with all the Capricorn planets, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, being late degree, Aries Mars in the late degree that we are in is going to be in square, or is in square and is going to be in square with all those planets, so it can be even a more difficult Mars retrograde period, and the fact that it's in Aries, which is its ruling sign. So I feel like a lot of immaturities will come out, and it's hard for Aries Mars to be retrograde because Aries Mars, Mars wants to be in Aries. It's the war planet, it's the fighter, and when it's retrograde, it's like not able to express that warlike, fighter-like energy, and it's kind of, it can fumble with it and sort of impulsively go into things without a plan, or just go into things and not know what to do. So I'm just going to go through the Zodiac to explain what part of your life this may come out in the most, just very briefly. So, people who have Aries, first of all, people who have Aries in their chart are going to be feeling it more than most people. I'd say later degrees Aries, so like not necessarily people that are born in March, but more April Aries, Aries Suns, they're going to be feeling it. Aries Mars, Aries rising, any main planet with Aries is going to be experiencing it a little more strongly. Also Capricorn and Cancer placements are probably going to be having some issues with it too, late degree. Okay, so just in general, Aries, Sun, or rising people, this retrograde will be very prevalent in your life. You will probably be the one who is causing these issues. So with Mars retrograde, it affects everyone, and everyone kind of embodies that shitty Mars energy, but sometimes the Mars energy for some people can be coming from someone else, and that's part of the frustration. It's like you might be feeling fine, but someone else is acting up or pissing you off. Especially men. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Men act terrible during this time. Men are trash during this time. Sorry if you're a man, just saying. Every single friend I know who's been in a relationship in this past week has come to me and told me that their man is being trash. So just saying, if your man's acting shitty, just know it's about 2 months of it, so either break up or just sit it out. I don't know. But anyway, so with Mars, so with Aries, Sun or rising, you're probably going to be the one that's acting out. You're going to be the one that's pissing people off. Taurus, Sun or rising, this energy might feel more in the back of your mind, like it might be more of a subconscious rage, or things that you were upset about a long time ago are now coming to the forefront, or someone from your past is coming out, or it's just like a little bit less prevalent in your life on the forefront, but still like affecting, your sleep and your dreams and stuff like that. Gemini, Sun or rising, this could affect your friend groups. You might feel like your friends are acting bad, or like the people in your community you're having frustrations with socially, on a social level. You might be getting shit from your social group, or you say the wrong thing on social media, or you're just having trouble like wrapping your head around kind of aggressive energy that's coming from a wider group. And then Cancer, Sun or rising, this could affect your career, so be careful when you're interacting with authority and bosses and stuff like that. And if you are the boss or the authority, you might be on one and pissing off the people under you and stuff like that. Leo, Sun or rising, this could be happening in your 9th house. Travel might be an issue. You might want to go somewhere but you can't, or you might go somewhere and then have some issues, and this isn't like the Mercury issues where it's like little things here and there, but like major plans being set back. Or the other way this could come out is through having really political arguments, or having theological arguments and stuff like that, because it's like you're opinionated but you can't really like assert those opinions in a way that like people can listen to, and so you can get into some like pretty heated debates about politics and stuff during this time. Also funny because Donald Trump has a Leo rising, and Mars political energy is happening, and maybe it'll be a good thing. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to talk about political stuff, but just funny that he has a Leo rising. Keep that in mind. Anyways, Virgo rising is going to happen in your 8th house. It's probably be more sexually oriented for you. Feeling, you know, certain sexual repressions might be coming to light. Something you haven't dealt with from the past. Also just maybe going into more like fetishes and weird desires, or not weird, just, you know, different or perverse things that are kind of maybe putting off your partner, maybe having some intimacy issues, but the sex aspect of Mars retrograde is probably coming out the most for you. Libra, definitely relationships, arguing with your partner or having a partner who's super aggressive and just like not being fun to be around, or just in general having more arguments with your partner than you normally do, and not having as much harmonious relationships as you normally like to have, especially as a Libra or Libra rising. Scorpio, sun or rising, this could be happening it's happening in your house of health and work. So you could be having some issues at work, fighting with your coworkers, or fighting with your, you know, if you work at a place, your customers or clients or stuff like that. Maybe fighting with your coworkers. Also be some health issues related to sex, or related to something to do with like maybe you want to work out but you can't, or you just don't have the will to do so, or the sort of will to become healthy is kind of lacking right now. And then Sagittarius, sun or rising is going to be in your 5th house, so maybe you're feeling more creatively blocked, your expressions are blocked, your romantic interactions with people, maybe you're feeling like a little bit down on yourself or down on other people, and just not having as much fun as you normally love to have. Capricorn, sun or rising, this could be some issues happening with your family. You could be arguing with a family member, arguing with your mom, or if you're a mother, arguing with your kids, or having a kid who's lashing out, or having someone in your family member acting up or lashing out. Aquarius, sun or rising, this would be happening in your 3rd house, so your interactions with siblings might be a little messed up during this time. Also, if you need to do like little traveling around your like neighborhood or in your city, you know, you could have some issues with that, like, you know, just not being able to get a ride, or just being frustrated with not being able to do the things you need to do in your daily life. And also you might be a little bit more vocalizing things that that people don't take really well. You might have some little issues with like your casual friends and stuff. And then Pisces, this will be happening in your 2nd house, so spending might be an issue. You might feel like you want to spend a bunch of money on stuff, but you know, it's not what you want, or it's just somehow like messing you up, or messing up your bank account, or just you know, unwanted expenditures that are kind of making you feel bad or frustrated in some way. Anyway, it's just difficult. It's a difficult time, but you know, just brave it out. Like I said, if you're in a relationship, just know this is going on. You're not the only one. And you know, a little bit of arguments can be good, but just know you're not going to be able to solve things through fighting right now. So don't feel like if you're fighting with someone and nothing's coming of it, don't push it more than you already are, because it's not gonna end well. So just kind of take a deep breath, take a chill pill, sit out for a minute, see how you feel. And yeah, it's 2 months of it, so sorry to be a little bit negative, but you know, that's just the realities of astrology. And I hope you guys learned something from this video. Thank you so much for watching.